Hello, Dr. Noob here again. So today I will have a tutorial about tile maps and tile palettes. At the moment only drawing them and not how to make the collider. That will be for a next tutorial. I think there are three different levels. The first one is the manual one, that's the easy one, I will show you that. There is the second one, which would be Autotiles with some rules, no programming needed. I think this is something like an intermediate way to do it, and I will also show that. And the third way is to use a specific software. I can only there show you which software you could use. So let's get started. Okay, let's start with the easy way to do it. I have here a tile set that I have received from Lugual. I have maybe manipulated it a little bit so that I have different corners that I needed for the design of the tile maps. So what I would like to do is I would like to have a tile palette where I can draw it. For that I go here to Window and go to 2D and Tile Palette, and I move it in here. So when we do that, you see we have already a palette from the Corgi end. So what we want to have is we want to have our own tile palette. So in here we can create a new palette and call it, I don't know, dark level or something like that, and then we create a new one. So he wants to have somewhere to put this tile palette. You will see that I'm not really following an order at the moment because I want to have later a tutorial how to deal with order and how you should deal with your project. Anyhow, for the moment I just make one here, just a folder, and I create this folder, and now you see we have here the dark level. Good. Now we go back to our tile set, and here we have exactly the same as we had before. We have the pixels per unit and bilinear and the normal quality. So we go to none, point no filter, and 16 pixels, and also a multiple. So we apply that. And now we can go here to the sprite editor. So what we have here is 16 by 16 pixels here, another 16 by 16, 16 by 16, and so on. There are different ways how you can slice it. One way is just to go in here and say automatic and slice it. But then you see it's not really working very well. He takes everything as a big one because there is no space between those tiles, so that's not what we want. We can also go by cell count and say, okay, we have 1, 2, 3, and so on. In my case, I would like to have it by cell size, so I take 16 by 16, and now you see that it has been wonderfully sliced. Well, it has not been sliced, but prepared to be sliced. You can say that you want to have the empty rectangulars too, but in this case we would not like to keep those. I mean, it really makes no sense. I don't know why it's in here. We can now slice it, and we can now apply it. The moment you close it, you are now able to click in here, and you see all the different sliced tiles. Now this step is quite easy. You go here to your tile palette and you drag and drop your tile set complete in here. Now he will ask again where he should put all those tiles. I know that the right way to go would be to create another. Let's say this one should not be called tiles, it should be called something like tile palette, and the other something like tile sets. But I do not care at the moment because the set order is for me second range. So I select this folder, and now you see all those will be imported. What we need now is somewhere to draw all those things, because if I try to do here something, I'm not able to draw anything. That's because the tile map is missing. How to do that? That's very easy. You just go in here and create a 2D tile map rectangular. You see there are also different types, but in our case 16 by 16, it makes sense that we have the rectangular one. And it automatically creates a grid and a tile map, and I will call the tile map platform. You will see later why that's the best way to go. And now we can start and draw whatever we would like to do. Okay, so let me explain you the different tools. So the most common one is actually the brush, which you just choose the tile that you would like to draw, and then you can freely move around and paint your level. Then the next one is obviously to delete, to the eraser. Now here you have the possibility, look, if we want to delete just one by one, it's quite difficult. So what you can also do is just choose a big part of it and then delete it. So with that you can make, let's say, your eraser a little bit bigger. Same also for the brush. So if you would like to design like that, it's also possible just with the brush. The next thing which I definitely like is this here. This is a box that you can draw. So let's take that one, and we would like to make a flat and long line. You see, then you can do that like that. Oops, sorry. So here it is. So here, and you could make a box of it, as you see.
Yeah, well, let's say we have now the corner, let's do it.
Okay, the next tool would be to fill out. This is this one. Now you can choose which tile you want to fill. You see, I can also fill the rest of the level, or I can fill out wherever I would like to have it filled out. So those are, I cover that, this one too. Oh, this is, well, to pick, let's say, a color, but you are picking here a tile. So I can pick now here and pick this here, and, well, like a normal draw program. These two are if you would like to select something and move around. So maybe you want to take this here and we want to move it somewhere else. What should I show you next? Oh yes. So the same tools that you have to draw out there in this grid, in our platform grid or tile map, you can also use to edit this layout. Let's say you want to have a good L shape. So let's take one. You can now take, let's say, this one here and go to edit and then you see I can paint it now within my tile palette. So you see, now I have a second one in here. And if I want to take this one, I can edit, make this happen. Now I cannot just choose that here. I could go in there, take, see, now I cannot even do that. I have always to go out of edit, take the one that I need to, and put it in there. You see, now we have here an L shape. Maybe we want to have a second one, and it's a little bit of a tedious game to always just doing the same and the same, but well, what can you do? There is no easier way that I know of. If you know one, please let me know. Yeah, I think that's a very good one. You see, now we have, we can then take such an L shape and draw it like here if we want to, and maybe take this also as an L shape. You see, now we have a nice little L shape in here and can draw something like that. Cool. So the next step that you can do is, if you are working on a larger project, you are maybe not in the mood of dragging and dropping and painting each tile like that, because it just takes too much time. It would be just easier if you can draw it, and then he would automatically put the right tiles in it. Now there is a way to do that. I know that if you have already installed the Corgi engine, you have that package already as part of the third party in here. Now in, let me check if that's even right what I'm telling you. Corgi engine here somewhere in the third party, yes. Yeah, yes, look at that. 2D extras. So, if you don't have the Corgi engine, there is also the solution that you go here under Window and go to the Package Manager and go to the Unity registry. It's fetching. And in here you have the 2D tile map extras. So you would need, I think, to install it. It has been installed because, again, I installed the newest Corgi engine. If not, you would need now to install it by hand. That's the only preparation you need, and no programming skills needed. So before we start, we should maybe discuss something. It's not really necessary. I personally just give it as an advice. So if you remember right, I have here the art, and you see how it looks like. Here we have the different tiles for different shapes. If we open it, you see we start with 0, 1, 2, and then 3 is already the next shape. So with shape, I mean those shapes. So it's 0, 1, 2, and then we have something different here. And I don't like that very much, because then it means 0, 1, 2 is for that one, and if I want to take this one, then it's 3, 4, 5. I would like to have them just in one order. One way to do that is that you have something like that. You start from the top and go to the bottom. So it will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then he goes to the next one. That's exactly the same art, I just put it from top till down. My way to do it, you can do it as you wish. So now as you see, if we have now the top down, you can really see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's one way to go. Good, now let's make our rules. Let's create one folder and we can call it, what should we call it? Autotiles or something like that. When we open it, we have the possibility, well, either way open it here or here to create a 2D tiles rule tile. Again, if you don't see that, then please check if you have downloaded and installed the package. Tiles, and then here we have the rule tile. So let's say the dark rule. Very well, let's start. Very well, so the first thing we need to do is to put all those rules in it. He is asking for the default sprite, so if he doesn't know what rule it should apply, then he will put a default sprite in it. So that's what we will use. Let me just put that in here. This is a lock, so that whatever I click in here, this one will not disappear. So I go here to Lugual Arts, to our Autotile, and well, maybe I want to see it a little bit. So for me it would be this dark color in here. So I move it over there. Means whenever I draw something that he doesn't know, then he will use this one. Then let's start maybe with this corner. Let's create the rules. It's quite easy. Here under tiling rules, the list is empty, you can add one. And then you can drag and drop this here. Now, the rules are defined with arrows and red dots, which means if we have here an arrow, means I'm expecting here another tile. This green means it needs to have those. And if I click this here and if I click this here, means I need all of these 3 tiles around that block. And here I do not want any. And now you see we can only have this corner. Good. Then let's create the next rule, which would be this one. So this is quite easy. It needs to have left and right and down one at least. And we want nothing above those. Maybe, just maybe, we can even say that we want to have left and right down also something. Let's keep it at the moment. This you can later verify. Then let's go to the next one, which would be this here. Well, this is more or less the same rules, but on the other side, so that's it. Good. Then let's create the next one, which would be this here. Well, this is also very easy. It needs to have up and down one and nothing here. Yeah. Now this here, this is the default one. I'm not sure if I should make a rule for that one or not. Come on, let's make a rule. Sorry. So this one should be, I need to have all around something. Good. Then let's do the other side. I forgot to put this one. And this is exactly the same, but from the other side. So yes, that looks good. Again, I'm not sure if I should add those or not at the moment. At the moment I will leave them. Maybe I will correct them later when I draw something. Now the next one is this here. I think you are getting how it should look like. So I stop talking. Okay, I think this is a good start. Now we can take this here out, because what I would like to have in here is under the auto tiles. You see I have now the dark rule in here. So in your tile palette you can move this here, and if you take now this brush, then you see I start to draw. So okay, he doesn't find the rule here, he doesn't find the rule here. Oh, and now he starts to think. You see? Now I have some rules in here. They are not perfect because the L shape has not been added. But I recommend you to do something quite difficult. Just paint something difficult in here, which maybe will, well, it doesn't make sense, but so that you have a little bit of a reference, because we will add now more rules to it. Now we go again to our dark rule and the inspector. We lock it again and can go back to our tile sets and define some other rules. So let's go for the L shape rules. So create one here and we will add this L shape. So this L shape looks a little bit down to the right, which means, oh, did he just copy that? Okay, good. Sorry, I need first to delete everything before I do it. So I want something here, I want something here, I don't want something here. Good. Now let's go for the next one, which would be this here. Same here, nothing here. Here too, and then oh, I'm missing now this here, so good. Now let's go back to our tile palette and maybe do ones that would have an L shape on it, and you see it's looking better. The only issue he has is if it's just one tile, so it must be something like a double tile, and then he can really work with it. Here he doesn't find the rule, so you can then ask your artist to maybe deliver those or create an A-sprite one. And now you see it is getting really easy to create your level. So now you can start and create your level as you wish. And I think that's just wonderful. Okay, I will now also try to make the other tiles, which are only one, how can I say that, one tile thick. Let's draw them. Let's make one of them here. Let's make one of them here. Let's make one of them here. Okay, now let's go back to the rules again of the Autotiles. Please be patient with me, because to be honest I have never done that, so it could be that we have here some try and errors. Excuse me if that would be the case. Now the first one would be this one. This is a 16 by 16. Oops, sorry. I need to create a new one. And this would be this here. Now that means it should not have nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, and something here. And look at that. Already better. Now let's create the next one, which would be this one. Nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, and here. Great. Oh, now this is a nice one, because this one is expecting something on each one, but nothing in here. Oh, I have not drawn that. We should draw that. Okay. Great. Let's go back here to the inspector. Now the next one. Is this one here? That's the same, but on the other way, and lap, the one that is looking down. Sometimes when you are doing those kinds of videos and you are talking for yourself, you think that you are crazy talking with yourself. Great. Oh, very good. Very, very good. And so you are getting a little bit of a feeling what is missing, which tiles you could have. I'm still, let's say this one would be missing somehow. Let me find maybe a solution for it. That would be this one. So this one is only active if we have something above, something on the left, something on the right, and nothing here and nothing here. Could that be? So I'm having an issue with this here. I would like really to have this in here, but I'm looking at the rules and I don't see any error. I'm really recording that live. I have no clue if I will make it work. I hope I will, else, well, I look bad. Anyhow, so I should think that this would be good enough, but for some reason it doesn't. So what I will look is, why is this L shape, it somehow, this L shape thinks he's right. So let's go there. That's this here. So yes. Okay, maybe that's it. Maybe for these L shapes we need everywhere something. Ah ha 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 ha. It looks better. It looks better for the L shape. Okay, now I was able to do that, but you see it really doesn't fit with the art. So, well, I would need to go back to Lugual and ask him if he's able to do such a nice transition from those thick tile sets to the small tile sets. There is something I want to show you, a little trick that I found out, and it's when I talked with my artist Lugual, which I recommend to see in the description and follow the link to see how he did the tile sets, to show him where we are having issues, I put here under the default sprite, I went here to select and just choose one that was existing and had a different color. And then I painted, and now I was able to send him and tell him which sprites are needed. And he delivered already, so I have here the platform Autotile 2, which I'm correcting at the moment. Very well, now that we have it, let's try it out. So, yes, we can do the small ones and we face no issues. We can have even these intersections, no problem. Very well, let's delete that. Then let's go and try, we were having such a thing here, filled up, and we wanted to go from this bigger to the smaller one, and this one works. Perfect. Look at that. Oh, okay. Great. And great. Yes. Perfect. So now it looks very good. There are some, if I just have one tile, then it will not work because there is not one tile that I have. Well, I don't need it, to be honest. So I'm pretty happy with it. Thank you, Lugual. So now the next level would be something that cannot be covered by Unity, because you will get very soon to a limit with these rules. Let me explain it to you. One thing is if you are using slopes. So when you are using those, you see the rules are exactly the same as if you would have stairs. In my game that's not really important because I don't have any slopes. In case you are using slopes, then you are facing an issue with Unity, because this is just a limitation that you have with this here. Another limitation is if you want to have a bigger design of your level. If you want to have, let's say, lava falling down or something like that, and you want different behaviors, then you will get also to a limitation with this Unity. So there were some recommendations from the internet. Let me show you that. So the two tools that the people are recommending in the internet is LDTK, so the Level Designer Toolkit, which, if I'm not mistaken, came out from Dead Cells, or at least the guy who was working on Dead Cells has created this toolkit. So anyhow, as you see behind, how you can do wonderful things with this Autotile, much better than you can do with Unity. The second one, which I have also seen in some tutorials and are recommended by a lot of people, is tiled. So under mapeditor.org you see tiled, And here you can also see Axiom Verge and Shovel Knight used tiled. Also one that you can do very good Autotile rules and import very easily to Unity. So my friends, this is it. My recommendation, if you want to really start with a huge design in your game, then use one of those two tools. Else, if it's a small game, please use the Unity rules. Either way, that's it for my tutorial today. And next time we will face the collision so that you can walk on those tile maps. So thank you very much and see you next time. Cheers!